Testing 1, 2, 3. Make sure everybody can hear me. I'm trying to get Miss Tabitha on here with me. We're looking forward to that. We are going to get Miss Tabitha on here any minute. Tabitha, are you there?
I'm here.
That was the ticket. Good morning, everybody. Tabitha, we'll get started in just a minute. We're going to let folks get in here. They are used to the 11 o'clock hour, and they're just now getting their text messages and trying to get in. So we don't want anybody to miss anything. How have you been?
I've been busy, but doing well. Really busy.
You are a busy person. I love that. You know, we've got this saying, sorry while I'm distracted getting people in. We have got a saying that I know you've heard, busy as a bee.
Yes.
We stole that from Martha Washington. She would say, anytime anybody would ask Martha Washington how she was doing, she would say, busy as a bee, cheerful as a cricket, steady as a clock.
I didn't know that came from her.
Yeah, and she was a very curt woman, but always busy and happy, and Martha Washington. So we say busy as a bee, cheerful as a cricket, steady as a clock, stand on a rock, because we really feel what great statements if you're trying to lose weight. And you definitely stay busy as a bee. Bible says an idle mind will suffer hunger. And we know that it's talking spiritually, but I think it applies both fleshly as well as spiritually. So staying busy is a good thing. And you definitely stay busy, which I hope we're going to get into in a minute. Hello, it's my beautiful bride.
Hey, Tabitha.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, I'm doing well.
Good. I'm glad you could take a few minutes to talk to us today.
Yes, I literally just finished helping my son with algebra 2. So I have one kid in one room. The other 2 kids are downstairs because I told them they need to keep doing their school.
Good. That's it. You are all over the place. It seems like a busy lady, but we all are, we all are. It's just, but I'm glad you're able to carve out a few minutes to share.
Absolutely.
Yep. Right. Yes. Very good. I'm going to watch from the other room. It's good to see you. I'll be listening in. I can't wait to hear more about your story.
Good. Thank you.
You do me a flavor.
I sure will.
I have had Happy Juice, and now I'm drinking Spark, and that powder is making. Will you spray me a glass of water?
I will.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're just about ready, everyone. It's good to have everybody. We've got a few people with us on Facebook. Feel free to share over there. And we've got 80 and counting here in the Zoom room. Good to have everyone. This will count as a class. So you'll get class attendance credit for this. And Tabitha, you can see the chat, right, as people?
Yes, like I can see it one at a time popping up.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. I know we have a few new people here. You're new to Shibboleth. So some quick introductions. My name is Travis Martin. I've lost over 100 pounds with this program. Come off all prescription medication. The program's changed my life, radically changed my life. And I will just say the longer I'm in the journey, not that I ever tried to take credit from Jesus, but I realize how much more Jesus has been a part of my journey than I ever realized. The Holy Spirit, because he ordered my steps here, radically changed my life. I had no idea that I would lose so much weight with this practical, sustainable, fun program and keep it off, and then find myself. We just had this conversation last night with a couple, and I had no idea I would find myself teaching nutrition, trying to support and help people. I thought that I was going to be a plant manager one day for Shallow Industries. So my life radically changed and transformed because of the program, and for that, I just want to give Jesus the praise for it all. Without Jesus, I can do nothing. I hope all of our members feel that way. Today, I have a member that feels that way. Tabitha Rogers is with us today, and we're going to get into her story. We will have time at the end of the session for Q&A. If you want to ask her questions or myself questions, we'll try to point you in the right direction. We consider ourselves a ministry first and foremost. We've got 3 types of members here. We've got our free community members, our lifetime members, and our partners. And we just want to thank our lifetime members and partners for really, especially in this day and time where it seems the love of many is waxing colder and colder because they've been taken advantage of and whatnot. But we've got lifetime members and partners that believe in the authenticity of this program and what we're trying to accomplish. And we could not do this without you. So I just want to thank you all for that. As said, today we've got Tabitha Rogers. We're going to get into her story. Tabitha is National Elite Miss Agriculture USA. This is a big deal. Did I say all that right, Tabitha?
You did. Yep. I'm National Elite Ms. Agriculture USA. Never thought I'd be here.
Well, first of all, I hope I don't offend. You are gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Your photos, when you post them, I always do the wow emoji. And every time I just want you to know I mean it, because it's just, you were beautiful before, but now the light that exudes from you is so uncommon. You look so happy. You look like you're living your dream life, and you're doing productive things. National Elite Miss Agriculture USA. So first of all, introduce yourself to everyone, and then I want to know, I'm just going to go through the list in a non-chronological, got a lot of questions that people wanted us to ask you, but tell us a little bit about yourself, and then tell us about National Elite Miss Agriculture USA.
Okay, well, hello, my name's Tabitha Rogers, and like Travis said, I'm the 2022 National Elite Ms. Agriculture USA. I live in York, Pennsylvania. I am a mom of 3 kids. They are 10, 12, and 14, and I have homeschooled them their whole life. So this is my 11th year of homeschooling. We live on my family's farm, which is a sheep farm, and it's been in the family for 102 years. So my kids are the 5th generation to live on the farm. So we have all that going on too, on top of everything else. With Miss Agriculture USA, that is actually a national nonprofit organization that was just started in 2018. And it was started to give girls and ladies an opportunity to promote all things agriculture, but also focus on building public speaking skills, confidence, networking, friendships. And I actually get to do this with my girls. My youngest daughter is the Pennsylvania Petite runner-up, and my oldest daughter is actually the junior national runner-up. So that's how I got into this. They wanted mom to do it with them. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd win the state title and then go on to win the national title. Uh-oh, I can't hear you, Travis. Can everybody hear Travis, or can anyone hear me?
I figured it out.
Okay, now I can hear you. I'm like, I can't hear him.
They could hear you. They could
Okay.
hear you. I wanted to pop up one of your transformation photos. I mean, you've got some amazing transformation photos out there, but again, I don't go in chronological order, much to the chagrin of my team. But I ask you, looking at these photos, that doesn't look like the same human being. You look like you took 15 years off.
Yeah, and that photo of me in the red t-shirt, that was my very first day on Shibboleth. So that was July 10th, 2021. Oh, I could cry. I can't start crying already.
Gosh, it's good. That's lacking today, is people being in it.
And
So
I was one depressed soul. I had gotten away from my Lord. I was so not confident in the person that I was, and I was just searching for something different. And then as the weight started falling off, I thought, you know, this is the opportunity for me to become the person I always wanted to be, even though I thought I couldn't be her. And I took it and ran with it. And that gold dress, sorry.
Oh, take your time. This is awesome. This is what people need.
When I heard that I won the state title and I was going to go to nationals, my mom said she wanted to go dress shopping with me. So we actually drove I think almost 3 hours round trip to this pageant gown place that was recommended to me. And my mom and we spent over 3 hours with me trying on gowns because everything fit. And my mom and I stood in that dressing room just crying. And she just kept saying, I can't believe this is you. Like, I'm so proud of you. And we ended up telling the store owners why we were crying our eyes out. And I walked out in that gold dress and the whole place just went crazy. And I felt like $1,000,000. And I said, this is the dress. And it was so different than anything people have ever worn for this competition. So my husband and I kept saying it's either going to make me or break me at the competition. But that dress, I believe, is a 4 or a 6. And at my heaviest weight, I was a size 28. So I was 263.8 pounds at my heaviest weight. But there is nothing that will ever take away the memory of being in that dressing room with my mom and her just telling me how proud she was of me. And I just kept looking in the mirror saying, I can't believe it's me. So to look back at these old pictures, I truly am a completely different person, inside and out, completely different. And I'm still amazed that that day we went to the dress shop, everything fit, because I feel like my whole life, nothing fit the way I wanted it to. All the cute clothing wasn't in my size. And that day it was 3 hours of trying on everything that fit. It was amazing. So that picture is an emotional picture for me.
Let's just let that soak in for a minute. That when I'm looking at these pictures, and if I say something that you disagree with, it's fine. It's just good dialogue, conversation. But when I look, you said, I say it a lot too, I'm a completely different person. And here's what I've tried to unpack with my own personal journey. When I look at these pictures, I also see myself, my before and after. And that before picture, that was my representation of my flesh. And that after picture is a representation of my high self, my spiritual self, who I really am. And it's like we were always this person. We were always our after transformation, but we let the world kind of drag us down. And, you look, one person, the before picture, I see somebody, good person, works hard, but they're not loving themselves. They're not proud of themselves. And then in this other picture, I see a representation of my God. I see the highest representation of a person. Look at the smile. Look at the eyes. I know it's hard to tell in a picture, everyone, but the sparkle. And to get that sparkle, you basically said, okay, I got to do something. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you had to start with a why.
Yes.
So what was your why? What was the deeper reasons for doing this?
Well, if I could just back up a little bit,
Sure.
when I was at my heaviest weight, which was 263.8, January 1st, I believe it was 2018, if I have my years right, my New Year's resolution was to lose 100 pounds in that year. This was before I even knew anything about Shibboleth. And my why then was definitely for my kids. I would go to bed at night and I could not roll myself over in bed without grabbing onto something to pull myself over. And my husband would get up and go to work before I would get up. And I would think, my kids are going to find me dead in this bed. Like, I'm going to die in my sleep. We would go to amusement parks. I could not ride rides with them. I would have to stand and watch the rest of the family ride rides because I couldn't fit. I couldn't run with my kids. I couldn't do anything with my kids. So that was my why. And in 2018, I did lose 100 pounds in a year on my own, but it was solely through eating salads, depriving myself of everything, and killing myself at the gym. And I would cook separately for my family and me. So I'd watch them eat whatever they wanted to eat, and I'd be there eating lettuce. But I lost the 100 pounds. I kept that off using the same means until COVID hit, because I relied heavily on killing myself at the gym to keep my weight where it was at. So the gyms were closed and I gained back, I believe it would have been around 50 pounds or so. So when I got to Shibboleth, when I started Shibboleth, my why was still my kids, but it was also 2 other things. One, I was scared to death that I was going to go back to where I was at the 263.8 pounds. And 2, that photo was taken July 10th. July 5th was when I found out that I had received or was getting the county title for Miss Agriculture USA for my title. And I remember inside I was happy, but I was also thinking, oh my word, now people are going to be looking at me and I can't even stand to look at myself. I have to lose some weight. So my whys, the kids were still there as far as my why, but it was also just I needed to get my act together because I was scared I was going to go back to where I was before, if that makes sense. I can't hear you again.
Keeping it so I'm not background noise, but now I'm remembering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, awesome. So did I interrupt you or?
No, you're fine. My why now is a little different. I'm not afraid that I'm going to die in my sleep, obviously, and I can do anything I want with my kids. Sometimes I can even last longer than them. Don't, tell them I said that. But for family vacation, we went hiking down to a waterfall, back up something that was called Killer Hill. And like, I could do that. I probably would have died on that mountain years ago. But my why now is instead of just surviving, I feel like I'm thriving and I want to keep thriving. I also love fitting in little clothes. So as shallow as that may sound, that is also one of my whys.
It's not shallow. You keep saying it. It's so important because what the world calls shallow goal is what got me started. I was on multiple prescription medications, but back then when I started, I just wanted to be more confident. I would even tease in class, I want to look good naked, but it was, is that shallow? Yeah, but whatever works. And that got me up and got me going. And then I found higher purpose and a deeper why as I moved forward. But it sounds similar. You wanted to fit in some cute clothing or something that made you feel alive and sexy, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you got started with Shibboleth, where did you start? Because we hear that a lot. Some people started with challenges, weight loss challenges. Some people started with the regular program, the fast track system. How did you get started?
Okay, I started with fast track. So, and I also was a crazy person, and I started the week we were away at a fair showing livestock, and everyone thought I was crazy. But I actually made an appointment with Joni. So she helped me put together a meal plan that would make it work while I was away at the fair. So it was real simple stuff, but I did fast track, and I actually did fast track before I started my first day because I wanted all that information instead of, I'm that kind of person. I had to have the details. So I took several nights in a row where I stayed up till 2 a.m. because it was the only time I had to do it. I watched every fast track video. I printed every worksheet. I still have them in a folder. I filled out every worksheet. I did every little checklist that's in every lap of fast track. So that is how I started. And then I did 21 perfect days. And on the 22nd day, I had my first holiday because we were at a fair and I had had enough of not having fair food, unfortunately, when everyone else did. But I did 21 perfect days. The first week in Shibboleth, we were at a fair every single day, and I just packed my food. It was my time of the month, and I still lost 10 pounds. And I was telling everybody, it's my time of the month, and I lost 10 pounds because never in my life have I ever done that.
Yeah, well, if it were that time of the month, it might have been 14 pounds.
Like I could not believe it was just like falling off of me. And this was in July and it was hot. And usually I retain so much water and I lost 10 pounds that first week.
That's outstanding. So you're on a roll. You're rocking it. Momentum. Someone asked, Lisa Young asked, how did you find Shibboleth?
Okay. I knew Jonathan Montgomery from Premier Designs Jewelry. I used to be a consultant with Premier Designs Jewelry. So I was always seeing him post about stuff on Facebook. And I asked him a million questions. Thank you, Jonathan, if you see this, for putting up with me, because I thought it had to be some kind of catch to it. Like it couldn't be this easy. And then I was like, you know what? I just have to do this. So
yeah. So Jonathan, so again, just like you have referred people, Jonathan referred you and got started with that. So when you got started, what were some of the challenges that you ran into as you got started, whether it be mentally or physically, or were there any challenges that you had to overcome after you got started?
I don't want this to sound bad, but I didn't find it that challenging. I know some people really struggle. I am just the kind of person, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So if I had to pick one, it may have been like that first week, knowing what to take to the fair, because I did really get a lot of help from Joni. And I, like, those first 2 weeks, I pretty much lived off of turkey Spam sandwiches and still lost weight. But learning the combinations might have been a little challenging, but like, I printed the combination chart, and I mean, I just really studied it because I really wanted to get it down. So in the very beginning, I did take advantage of all the freebies, extra snack. These days, I could go days without needing any of that. Yesterday, I only ate twice, which if someone would have told me years ago that I'd be doing that,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I didn't find anything that was so hard. I thought I'm never going to be able to do this.
Yeah, well, we get those insulin levels under control, and you find that, you can be more disciplined than you ever thought. Same thing for me. I don't believe I would have been able to stick with the program if I had started off with the program
Right.
I eat now.
Yes.
So,
And I didn't do my first WOW challenge either, I think, until after a month or so, maybe even 2 months. So I really was taking advantage of everything we were allowed to have in a perfect day.
yeah, you've done a lot of WOW challenges, right?
Today, I'm doing my 102nd WOW challenge. So
You're
yes,
right up there with Patricia Hurt.
I absolutely adore WOW challenges.
Yeah, tell us what the appeal of the WOW challenges is.
There's several for me. One, I have a lot of holidays, which I'm sure we're going to end up talking about at some point. So I know that typically, as long as it works, after every holiday, it's going to be a WOW challenge. It gets me right back into EFB, but also I need it for my discipline, because I know if I committed to a WOW challenge, now I think there was 1 or 2 times that I did, I think once, tap out of a WOW, and it was because the family decided to go celebrate something the kids did. And it was important to me to do that with my family. So, but other than that, if I commit to a WOW challenge, I'm doing it. Actually, on Saturday, I had already accepted all WOW challenges for this week, Sunday through Wednesday. So like, I commit. Another reason I love WOW challenges is I'm busy and I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat. The WOW challenge tells me exactly what to eat. And I said about building my discipline, because that's important to me. And sometimes even this far into it, I like a WOW challenge just to keep proving to myself that I can do it. Yesterday, I tried the cookies and milk and spaghetti WOW, the new one with the Lenny and Larry's cream cookies. And I thought, oh man, only eating twice, because I usually do have 3 eating episodes. And my kids were like, Mom, you're only eating cookies and spaghetti today? I'm like, yes, I can do it. So, and my weight is up a bit from traveling, but I did that WOW. And yesterday I was down over 3.5 pounds. So
Yeah.
They're worth it. I love them.
Yeah, and when someone isn't as invested in the lifestyle as you are, we have, I don't know what to call those people because we love them, but they come because it's free.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really sold out, so they haven't paid anything, so there's nothing to lose. So they don't get immersed into the program, and then they see a WOW challenge and they're like, this is ridiculous, this won't work. And they miss the point of the WOW challenge. And I'm glad that you caught on early. It's not about the meal, it's about the discipline.
Yes, yes.
The habit of discipline. A lack of discipline is a habit, and discipline is a habit. And I'm convinced when you do what you're doing, you have some success, one WOW challenge at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel that thing well up like I feel? It's like I can do anything.
Yes,
I can't
absolutely
abstain from food.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. And sometimes I'll tell my kids, like, I ate twice and I didn't die. I think that's just so funny. But Yeah.
Yeah.
And my kids are a big part of my journey too. So that's why I keep mentioning them. But they kind of, they know a lot about Shibboleth for just being kids.
Yeah, this is not meant to be a dig. I think you get it too. But one time someone said, they messaged me and they said, Tabitha's not doing the program.
Oh my.
I said, what do you mean Tabitha's not doing it? Well, she's losing her weight with Wow Challenge. And I said, I don't know if she is, but if she is, what's wrong with that? What's wrong
Right.
with that? You know, because you're finding that balance. It's like I tell people when I'm not trying to lose weight, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm on the strictest version of Shibboleth. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I take off. And, you know, and people are like, how do you lose your weight? Well, I paid the price. I lost the weight. And now I work hard. I play hard. And this is the way I balance it out. You're balancing it out with some Wow challenges. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's about getting that excess weight off so that you can, like you said, thrive.
Yes.
So what were some of the foods that you were eating that you enjoyed most? You mentioned the turkey spam sandwiches, which I love too. That's what we call in 2023, Tabitha, we think we figured out how to keep some of the naysayers at bay. We've got the clean version of Shibboleth and we got the dirty version.
Dirty version.
And I like it dirty. It's like that Tina Turner song, Proud Mary, if you've ever listened to that.
Yes.
One.
Yes.
So this is my, you know, I have those times I want to enjoy some things that aren't the cleanest of foods, but still allow me to keep excess body fat off, which is the real emergency. You know, that's the problem. So what were some of your favorite clean and dirty foods that helped you lose the weight?
In the beginning, is that what you mean? In the very beginning, or?
Yeah, and take us through today too, how that's evolved. How's it evolved?
Well, it's funny because I have with me this binder. Okay. So the front half of the binder is my favorite recipes. But then my kids told me this morning I have a problem. This whole stack of papers is every meal I have ate on Shibboleth since July 10th, 2021. And my son said this morning, why would you keep that? I said, buddy, when mom's busy and doesn't have time to plan a week of meals, all I do is look back at these old papers. Or I looked this year and saw what we ate while we were at the fair, and I didn't have to rethink it. So in consulting my binder, in the beginning, and I looked at this morning because in the beginning, it was all so simple. It was boar's head wrap. It was the turkey spam sandwich I talked about, peanut butter and jelly. Again, I was on the go a lot. I call them the egg McMuffins, you know, your 100 calorie English muffin with egg whites and category 1 Canadian bacon and cheese, because I couldn't get over I could still eat that stuff. Yeah. French toast. This morning I had stuffed French toast, which still blows my mind that we can eat that. When we would go out for fast food, Chick-fil-A, so I didn't have to miss out if the rest of the family was going out to eat. I could have my grilled nuggets and my side salad. There's so many good things in this.
Now,
go ahead.
Listening to you, those first few ones that you named off, it has become a daily occurrence for some time where folks are asking about the program. They say, but I can't afford it. It's too expensive. Mm-hmm. Everything you named there is very budget friendly.
Yes. Our budget has stayed the same or even went down because I'm not eating as much food. And when I was losing weight on my own before Shibboleth, I was cooking for me and cooking for my family. And now they will eat differently for breakfast and lunch if they choose. But supper, it's what I cook, and they don't have any complaints. My kids, I asked them, if in case I share in the interview, for a list of favorites. These are my kids' favorites. That my kids like tacos. We're having tacos tonight because you can still eat tacos with Shibboleth.
Yes.
My daughter Macy is obsessed with the tuna salad recipe. For her birthday, they get a birthday breakfast. And for her breakfast, she ate tuna salad. I had to make her Shibboleth tuna salad, and that was her breakfast. But there's just so many things, and it has evolved for us because in the beginning, everything was simple. And I'm if I cooked a meal, it may have been something like chicken breast and a vegetable. But now I do a lot of recipes. We do the crock pot chicken and gravy, That's an awesome one for our family on Sundays. And we make hot gravy sandwiches out of it. And it's approved. And I usually always lose weight when I eat that hot chicken and gravy sandwich. My kids love the Jonathan skillet fried rice with cauliflower rice. They love that. Pumpkin brownies and also the black bean brownies. And my list may be different than others because I cook for a family too, and I have kids. My daughter said I had to mention these, but peanut butter and jelly cookies. They're in the recipe library as PB&J. But that's one of the things that makes this so brilliant for me, because we can still have the cookies. We just know how to eat them and they're healthier. So it's great. This blows my mind. They said to put on the list radish potatoes. Yeah. Because if you've seen me cooking my roast, I put radishes in now, and we don't eat potatoes. And my kids think they are the greatest thing in the world. And if you would have told me my kids would be, I had to make 3 bags of radishes on Sunday, just this Sunday, because they will eat seconds and thirds of the radishes. I mean, that's life-changing. It truly is. We would otherwise be eating second and thirds of potatoes. Yeah. Fluffernutters, that's another easy, simple thing. The Elvis, my kids said, make sure the Elvis gets on there for Travis. Oh, wow. I mean, so many things, chicken and dumplings. Joni shared with me the crustless ham, cheese, and broccoli quiche recipe, because at one point a few weeks ago, we were being bombarded with eggs on our farm. And she said, hey, here's a recipe that'll use up 8 of your eggs. Well, we all loved that. So there's just, I could go on and on. There's so many things. And when I'm busy, I do use meal replacements too. So like Mighty Muffins, a protein shake. Yeah. When I go get groceries, if I know I'm going to be out during lunchtime, it's nothing for me to take a cooler bag, have my food there in the car. Because if I don't do that stuff, I know I wouldn't stick with it. I have to.
Since you started the journey, did you find, I'll give you an example, but did you find you had some old comfort foods that were hard to let go of, but you found void replacements? For example, I love ice cream. So instead of eating, regular Moose Tracks ice cream, I switched to void replacements that control my insulin. Back in the day, mine was the Blue Bunny Sweet Freedom Bunny Track. But now I'm hooked on the no sugar added salted caramel. And I love it. I love it. So I found a void replacement for something I love that was a much lesser evil that allowed me to stay in efficient fat burning mode or get back in it quick. So I've got this whole list that I've developed for me of void replacements for Reese's, for ice cream, because I have found my personality is if I feel like I'm missing out, I tend to have more what we call holidays on Shibboleth. Did you have things that you needed to find void replacements for?
So I am a chip girl. If you follow me on Facebook, you guys know. So I use a ton of Quest chip and I also love the fact that I can eat them on the go with a sandwich. Like on Saturday, I judged a rodeo queen pageant, and they told me they would be providing subs and chips. But I also had a banquet that night that I knew I would holiday at. So I just made my own boar's head sandwich and took my Quest chips, and I didn't even think twice about it. Peanut butter cups. I love the Quest peanut butter cup. I don't know exactly what it's called, but that is another great void replacement for me. And as far as cookies go, like if I just get hungry for cookies, I make sure I incorporate like a Quest cookie as my meal replacement, because I really am not a big snacker anymore. So those things work for me to do that way. Let me see what else. Void replacement.
I'm curious for my own self.
Yeah.
When you did your sandwiches, and it sounds like you ate a lot of budget-friendly meals and sandwiches. So what bread? There are more than 100 approved breads now, but what bread and what tortilla did you like the best?
We started out using one of the Sara Lee's, but then my husband discovered that he likes the 647 breads better. So I just switched to that because I really didn't have a preference. And if it makes him happier, then that's fine. So we use 647 breads now. Tortillas, I have 2. If the and this may sound bad, but we are on a budget. So if the whole family's eating tortillas, because we might do something like a tortilla pizza night, and I set up a pizza bar for the kids and we make our own Shibboleth approved pizzas, I will use great value tortillas because they are super cheap and they're approved. But I do have my own stash of, is it called La Tortilla Factory or something? Okay, because I can picture the bag. Those are almost $2 more a pack where I get them from. So those, the kids kind of know are off limits, their mom's tortillas. But I really like the, yeah, there's the kids Shibboleth stuff and there's mom's Shibboleth stuff. But I really like those for like my deli wraps.
Awesome. Good to know. Good to know. For me,
Yes.
I try to avoid bread, but sometimes I want some approved bread because I want a burger, you know, or
Yeah.
with a bun, not a lettuce wrap. So
Yes.
I love that we have those options, and I'm always curious what breads are people eating. So you get started, and you've already talked a little bit about it, but take us through. You started losing weight, and as everyone who adheres strictly, it's rapid in the beginning.
Yes.
So can you take us, I lost this much in about this time and then this much about this time. And the point I want to get to is there's no doubt that in order to lose 70 pounds, there are going to be temporary, what I don't like to refer to them as this, but everybody does. There's a temporal plateau.
Mm-hmm.
And then how mentally do you get through that? Can you kind of walk us through what it looked like from a speed standpoint? Because that's the question we get right here. How fast can I lose it? You know, wrong mentality to start a new program with, but it has to be addressed because that's how people. So
I started July 10th, 2021. In the first 30 days, I had lost just over 20 pounds. So I did lose 10% of my body weight.
So let me pop there. So when we say, we tell people, again, yesterday I got a thing from Facebook that said my post went against communities because I said one can lose 10% of their body weight in the first month with strict adherence to the lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Never fails. Everybody that I know that gives it a fair effort does. So you did. You lost more than 10% in 30 days.
10% would have been 20 pounds because I was 200 point something on the day I started. And I think I lost 22 pounds in 30 days. And I did no exercise. Okay. All I did was focus on the eating. I actually haven't been in the gym since June 2021. So
you again, we're going to jump back and forth. We're going to get okay the pace here. And if I interrupt you, it's just because you made a good point, and I want to get to that. So we'll go back to that the journey. Let's stop there. There's going to be a lot of people that do not believe that transformation. Let's be clear here. Let me pull this. You don't look like someone that typically loses 70 pounds, meaning your arms look tremendous. You don't look like you've lost 70 pounds. Your face looks very healthy. So if a pundit looked at this, they're going to say, no way you didn't.
Yep.
But you didn't.
I didn't. No. And I actually was working at the gym before Shibboleth. For time's sake, I won't get into all of that. So I was very close to the owner of the gym, and I loved my gym family, but I was killing myself to get there. And as a busy mom, and then killing myself when I was there. And then if I didn't make it there, I thought I was the worst person in the world. Like I would self-sabotage like no other. Like you can't even get to the gym. So I said, I'm just going to try this new way of eating. And I have not been in the gym since June 2021. I get people asking me all the time, what arm exercises do I do?
Yeah, your arms look so toned in the picture.
I don't, guys. I don't exercise. I might walk, but I have to admit it's probably been weeks since I've been out for a good long walk. Now, if I'm doing like Top Gun or something like that, my butt was out there. I'd get up early if I had to make sure I got my steps in. But now just living normal life, not in a challenge. No. And the only exercise I've ever done while doing Shibboleth would have been walking in my driveway. So
standing. Jada Bates just said, I haven't had the time to exercise, but have lost 95 pounds for 10 months and now have maintained for 4 months. Isn't that amazing?
Awesome. Yeah, it's awesome.
Does that warm your heart when you hear people accomplish what you accomplished?
It sure does, because
Yeah.
it's just lives being saved.
Yeah, it does me too. So, no exercise other than when you do a challenge. For those listening that might wonder what Top Gun is, that is a weight loss challenge that we did. We do challenges to keep people excited about the program. So you're going through this thing, you've dropped the 10%. Do you remember a point in time where maybe you hit a plateau and had some self-doubt or doubt about if it's still working? Do you remember such a time?
I never doubted if it was working, but I do, and I don't remember the time frame, but I do remember being extremely frustrated, thinking, what is going on? Something's got to be going on with me. And I have like some core people that I reach out to. And even now I have times that I'm like, this holiday weight's not coming off. And like I reach out to Joni, Alicia, Edward, my friend Lane, and they all listen to me whine and talk me through it. I'm human. I am human. But I don't think I was ever stuck for like more than a week or so. And that you and I both know that's not like a true plateau.
Right.
And then things would get moving again. When I would get stuck, I typically would do a wow challenge or get extra steps in, make sure I got out there to walk, and I would get over it. Cause I always trust the program. I mean, I complete it. It works. Like, so there's no reason to doubt it. Towards the end, obviously weight started coming off slower. And, I think it was Kim and Joni both had suggested I try some lion days. And I did that, and that really got things moving again. And then I believe I reached my goal in March or the very beginning of April. So it was, is that like 7 months, maybe 8 months? I'm not sure that I reached the goal. So
Well, that's pretty fast.
yeah.
Pretty fast for 70 pounds. Tremendous, especially with all you had going on. So when you do hit those hard days mentally, how do you push yourself through those? How do you keep going?
I really talk to people. I'm a people person. So like I said, I reach out and just let them know like, hey, this is how I feel today. And Shibboleth is such a great group of people. They just talk me through it. And the other week, my daughters are in a pie baking club. So for the last 6 weeks, every Thursday night at like 9 p.m., they come home with pies.
Yeah.
And I have been saying, no, I actually have some pie slices just for me in the freezer to save for a holiday so I can taste their pie. But this was a particular Thursday, and I believe I was doing a wow challenge. And I reached out to Joni, and I'm like, Joni, I'm going to crack. I am ready to tap out of this. I just want to eat pie with my family. And she was like, just stay perfect. She said, go home, because I was driving home from pie baking. She said, you will be so glad. Sally Clock, I see she just said she remembers that Thursday. I whined to Sally too that night. That's why she remembers that. And Joni said, just stay strong. You'll be so glad you stayed perfect. So I came home and I chugged a bunch of Sprite Zero, the 0-calorie Sprite, because the carbonation made me full, and I went to bed and I made it through. So, I mean, I still have days like that because I'm human, but I rely on people a lot just to chat with and talk through things.
Awesome. Now, we have a critical component that you have attended enough of my sessions to hear me beg people to do it, and that is the journal.
Oh, yes.
Did you journal, and are you still journaling? And give us an example. Do you just put your food down, or do you write about your emotions? Tell us about your journal habit.
To the best of my knowledge, I've never missed a day of journaling. So I hope that's true, but I'm pretty sure I've never missed a day of journaling. I will, before I get out of bed in the morning, I grab my phone while I'm laying on the pillow and I select the kind of day I'm having and I enter what time I got up. And then that's how I start my day. I take a picture of every single thing that goes in my mouth, even on holidays, so that if I don't have a chance to journal it then, I will have the time on my phone from when I ate it. So I put in on a perfect day, I absolutely put in every episode as a meal, whatever, with what it was I ate, the categories. I log all of that. On days when I may have done something special, like judging the rodeo queen pageant, and I got a lot of compliments, I will add a photo to my journal for my progress, just because I think that's fun. In the box at the bottom where you journal your thoughts, I will admit I don't do that every day. And sometimes I feel like when I do that, it's on the days I'm struggling versus the days where everything went perfectly. So I do it sometimes. I do journal all my holidays, and sometimes that may mean I put together pic collages because it's so much food. And then I'll still just stick that pic collage in my journal and just say holiday food so that it's all there. But yeah, to me, journaling is so important. It keeps me focused. It keeps me on track. It's constantly forcing me to be going over correct combinations. I mean, even though I feel like I have them down, when you're entering those combinations every day, you're really thinking through things. So yes, I absolutely journal.
Sure. Outstanding. So I'm going to throw some rapid fire at me.
Okay.
So Tabitha gets up, and this is going to be on a day where you have 3 eating episodes. Give me a couple of ideas of what you would choose for breakfast.
Okay. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. So I love egg whites, just plain egg whites I started recently doing a toasted egg white sandwich with fat-free cheese. I love the Healthwise pancakes. Today was stuffed French toast. I'm amazed that we can do things like 2 slices of approved turkey bacon, and I found approved bagels, so I might have half of that. I'm a breakfast girl, so anything breakfast. And I recently, just within the last probably few months, started using hemp flakes. So I love to add those to like my egg whites and things like that. So yes.
Awesome. So now it's 4 to 6 hours later. It's lunchtime. What's a couple of lunch items?
It depends on my day. Look, I have next week's menu here. But today for lunch, I'm going to do Oikos 000 yogurt with hemp flakes. So that'll be a 1+2 and a palmful of berries for my condiment. So that is a lunch for me. Maybe grilled cheese would be a good lunch for me. I love the Healthwise soup also. I just had it this past week and everyone was asking me what it was called. Oh, Greek yogurt and mixing one of the Healthwise pudding packs with it. I believe that's like a -3 meal replacement. So usually for lunch, it's got to be something quick and easy. But yeah, so boar's head stuff. I mean, I don't know. There's so many options. There's so many.
So now it's dinner time, and you've got the whole family there. What might you do for dinner?
Dinner is typically going to be a recipe because we are a family of 5, and it's easier and cheaper to feed everybody. So yes, Sally Clock said beefaroni. Love beefaroni. Last night we had Travis's spaghetti.
What pasta did you use?
That's what I was going to say. Funny story about that. We have always used the Explore cuisine. I guess it's the black. Is it the black bean? The black noodles. Okay. So last night I had some Fiber Gourmet elbow pasta left that was just enough for me. So I thought, well, I'll just get cheap spaghetti for the kids. They won't mind. Mom, this tastes funny. So it was your sauce recipe, but like regular spaghetti. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, this doesn't taste right. I said, well, it's not the black spaghetti I always use. They said, yeah, that black spaghetti is so much better.
They like it better.
I was like,
wow.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So I told them, I'm like, okay, next time I'll just make sure I have that pasta for you. But we do casseroles too. So chicken bacon ranch casserole, that's on the menu for next week. Tacos is tonight. So anything that'll feed the whole family. Angela's taco pie, that's another one the kids love. And the great thing is a lot of those meals under Cooking for a Family in the recipe library make 5 to 6 servings. So we know we're all getting the correct serving, and then there may be one left over for my husband to take to work. So it's perfect.
So again, many, just to summarize some of this, and you all, so we don't monopolize our time today.
I have time. You're fine.
Y'all feel free to start asking questions, and I'll do my best to get those questions in front of her. But you've lost 70 pounds. Health has improved. Your self-image has improved. And you've got this title that's a pretty big title. It's a pretty big deal. National Elite Miss Agriculture USA. How has that impacted and deepened your why in regards to Shibboleth? I'm assuming that's helped you even more, that achieving that, and now all the eyes that are on you, you probably want to continue.
Absolutely. It is a huge motivation to keep going, because all eyes are on me. I meet like some pretty important people. Last week I was away at a conference. I met the Pennsylvania State Secretary of Agriculture, and I know outside appearance isn't what matters, but it sure does make you feel a whole lot more confident when you're confident in your own skin. So when I am meeting these people and talking to these people, knowing that I'm looking the best I can look is a huge motivation for me. Absolutely huge. And I also feel like I'm a better public speaker now too, because of the confidence that I've gained through Shibboleth. I've always been a talker, but I think even now more so.
I think, I've talked to you a couple of times, and I would say the confidence that you project, even in one-on-one, is much different than it was first got.
Yes.
You can tell you're speaking from a place of genuine confidence.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense, but many of us that have lacked self-confidence, but yet have had to speak in front of people, it's kind of the fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
But when you develop real self-esteem, real self-confidence, and that's what you've done. I mean, what a great representative you are for them. So questions, you guys, and while I'm still waiting on questions, you seem to be a very motivated person, a very driven person. And I see and hear from people that they listen to a Tabitha and they go, well, that's great, but I'm not motivated.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got somebody out there that wants to lose weight, needs to lose weight, but they're just not motivated. What advice would you give to?
I'm a firm believer that sometimes motivation's not going to happen until you get started. I was eager to start, but once that weight started falling off, my motivation skyrocketed. So I would tell them, you have to just give it a try. I mean, you have nothing to lose but weight. So, you have to give it a try. And you have to love yourself enough to be willing to make changes, to be willing, this thought just popped in my head. You asked me what one of the biggest challenges was when I got started. It may have been having to forget everything I was taught about how to eat. That thought just popped in my mind. So you have to be willing to open yourself up, to try something new, to admit that possibly what you've been doing is not working. So there's got to be a better way. Has to be a better way.
So even person dropping their ego,
absolutely,
being willing to be teachable, coachable, learn some new things. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So you're living this as a lifestyle. You and I both dieted before Shibboleth.
Mm-hmm.
And is there some moment that you finally got it where diets aren't going to work? I'm going to have to live this as a lifestyle on the days I want to do it, on the days I don't want to do it. Do you remember that? When did it click? Was it something said in the fast track classes? Do you remember that moment when you're like, I've got to do this as a lifestyle, no longer a diet?
Yeah, it was pretty early on in my journey, because I think I just realized that when you look at the program itself, it just appears to be a lifestyle and not a diet, because you're given so many tools to manage it all. And that's another thing that helps me so much, because I have been traveling a lot with my title lately. And I have a management system with my holidays and getting right back on track. And at the beginning of every month, I circle the days I know will be holidays, and they are on my calendar. And then I know right after that, this is how I need to eat. So that to me can't be a diet, because in the past, if I took what was a holiday, which I didn't call it a holiday back then, the scale would be up. I'd be devastated. It'd take weeks to get it off because I didn't know how to eat correctly. So I'd deprive myself, and it was a vicious cycle. So very early on with Shibboleth, to me, it was clear this is something that's doable, and the family can just, do it with me as a lifestyle.
And have you run into people that haven't seen you in a long time? And if so, what is their reaction to you now?
I get positive and negative feedback, I guess I should say. I have people ask me if I'm sick. When am I ever going to stop losing weight because I'm way too thin? Everyone loves to give their opinion, and that is a big pet peeve of mine because I want to be like, you weren't here when I was pushing 300 pounds and killing myself with a fork, but now you have something to say. But then there are other people that they tell me they wouldn't recognize me at all. They give me compliments. So a lot of times people are completely shocked. Yeah.
I find it so amazing. People tell me I look sick, astounded. Nobody ever told me that when I was sick.
Right, exactly.
Now that I'm in a proper body mass index range, I hear all the time, Travis, are you sick? And usually the person that's asking that is not very healthy themselves.
Right.
And somehow my feeling better about me and getting healthy is a threat to them. And I don't understand that, because when I look at these pictures again, no one can say that you look healthier in the before picture.
Right.
No one that's in their right mind. So
yeah, it's crazy. And a lot of these people, I wish I had a photo to show you of me at my heaviest. Like they knew me then too. So for them to ask, when are you going to stop losing weight? It just blows my mind.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah.
But
and, well, the thing is, you and I will forever be on the program because it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. So if you've got someone, a good example here is, I'll let you coach for me. Angela Waite Pratt. She says, sometimes I feel like I need a personal chef. And I hear that a lot. Does she need a personal chef to do this?
No. No, you don't. If you don't have time to cook, you can still do the program. Just go with the simple things like I did, whether that be just sandwiches or meal replacements if you absolutely can't cook, or take just an hour to cook up a bunch of chicken and use that in all different ways. No, you don't need a personal chef. That you don't. To me, and I know people get on to me about my over planning because I can be a little extreme, but so much of it is just planning. It really is. Just plan ahead, carve out, even if it's just a little bit of time, you could knock out several meals. Or like today for my lunch, it's going to be yogurt. Grab yogurt when you're at the store. So no, sorry.
There's quick and easy. And then if somebody really, really wants it, we have a service that they cook the meals for you and send them to you. So we've looked at every possible obstacle that people will face. And the main thing is just to stop trying to convince yourself that there's an obstacle.
Right.
There's no obstacle that we can't overcome with relative ease. Nikki on Facebook, what was the best advice you ever gave yourself when starting the program? It's a good question.
Wow, that is a good question.
What was the self-talk that you used to get yourself started?
Well, to get started, I would say like changes had to be made. But then when I was thinking about her question with as far as self-talk or encouragement to myself would be trust the program. And people that know me know I repeat that all the time. Tabitha, you have to trust the program. Just trust the program. Bye, Alicia. I see you have to jump off. Love you too. Thank you for coming.
Bye,
and
Alicia.
That's amazing too. The friends I met, if it wasn't for Shibboleth, I never would have found all of you.
Before she goes, Alicia is a huge success story too. And it's like that whole thing, birds of a feather flock together. You're around other achievers too. And that's important to hang around those people within Shibboleth that are motivated, goal-oriented, and not the people that's not there yet, because they'll pull you down. I try to get away very quickly from people that are negative because it'll impact me. So, I noticed Jonathan, Alicia, Sally, you're surrounded by other people that have common goals.
Absolutely. I kind of don't have much time for negativity. or excuses.
Easy to be,
Yeah.
those people that don't have much to do, they're usually the ones that I find are struggling because
Right.
they want to eat. So uh, I don't see any other questions. Are there some things you would like to share with our audience? We've got over 100 people here today. Are there some things that you would like to share with the people that come from your heart that you would like to encourage them with?
Just don't give up. No, like seriously, the journey is so worth it. If you get stuck, reach out for help. Like I can't even tell you, while I was trying to meet my goal, how many times I used the chat feature to talk to Joni. And it could have been a simple question. And half the time she'd be like, "Hey, how are you doing again today, Tabitha?" Because I was chatting with her so much. But whether it was a food combo question or just what's the portion size on this, I mean, Joni was there and used those resources. If you're looking for encouragement when I'm not traveling, I absolutely love to get on the Sunday night support group call that Alicia hosts. That is definitely something to tap into. I know the last few times I've been on there, it's a small group, but sometimes I think that's what makes it so special because we can share our struggles and our strengths. The scale is a liar is another piece of advice. And that's another thing. I don't weigh. I don't know if Travis is going to think this is bad, but I don't weigh much at all anymore on the scale. And my personal reason for that is because I spent years tied to that scale, years where that scale defined me. And when I met my goal, I felt like I don't have to live like this anymore. I did get on the scale this week because it has been a lot of holidays. And the last conference I was at, an organization sent me and they paid for my meals. And most of those meals were $65 a person. And I sat with the people that paid for them. So I ate. I ate. And when I got on the scale this morning, I knew my weight was up because my clothes are tight. So that's how I judge it now that I met my goal. If my clothes are tight, it's time to rein it in. But then also my thought process is after reaching my goal weight, this is something I'm just going to live. So as long as I'm doing the program, and I know that when I have a perfect day, like it's a perfect day. So like I know I'm doing the program correctly, it's going to be okay. And now that my clothes are tight, what is this week is 4 days of wows in a row. And then I will holiday with my family for Thanksgiving and the weekend. And then next week it'll be challenges or perfect days again. So just know, I do recommend weighing while you're in weight loss mode. Don't get me wrong. I weighed multiple times a day when I was in weight loss mode till I reached my goal, but that scale does not define you and it is a liar. So don't listen to the scale.
No, it does not. It tells you what you weigh. It tells you what you gain and what you lose, but not the amount of fat you gain or lose.
Right.
Be careful with those scales. And I don't disagree with you at all. I think that's part of our program where it's based upon the person. So when I started, I strictly trusted, but like you, I knew what a perfect day was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have so days. It was either perfect or holiday. And, I trusted that weekly timing chart. We call it a weekly timing chart. It tells you how much time in the week you spent in efficient fat burn. And that's what I trusted. But now, because I get it, I weigh all the time. But when I started, it would really have weirded me out to hit a plateau. I might have given up. So I just trusted that weekly timing chart.
Yes. Yep. And I saw someone said that mental freedom sounds awesome. That is what it truly is. For me, it is mental freedom from the scale. I know what to do. I reached my goal and I'll just keep living it.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much. I know how busy you are. We've been trying to put this together for some time. It means a lot to us that you took time out of your busy day to come join us and try to help people.
Absolutely.
It's an important part and member of Shibboleth, and you've inspired countless people, even those that you'll never. And
thank you.
What a blessing. So if y'all are new here and you want to get started with Fast Track. You can do the full program or the free version. Either way, make sure you reference Tabitha. Let us know that are getting started today because you heard Tabitha's interview. And that will be fantastic. But shibbolethlifestyle.com, or you can go to shibbolethdeals.com if you're ready to get started with the full program. So outstanding. Thank you so much. Looks like a lot of people are saying thank you.
You guys, thank you for coming. I was hoping people would come listen.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if I missed your comments because they're flying quickly, but thank you.
Yeah, we had between Facebook and Zoom, it peaked at about 130 people. So
Oh, wow.
a lot of people will be touched today. This will be available later, Marilyn. This will be in your video library on the website. Just tell people about it. It will be on Facebook for a little while until Facebook probably pulls it down because of some of the words we used. But check it out on Facebook, facebook.com/Travis Martin 777. But it will be in your video library until the time of this. It'll be there. All right. We really appreciate you, Tab. If there's anything I can ever do for you, Sasha can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. Appreciate Joni and Tammy, our great teammates, and we appreciate all of these members here. And just remember what Tabitha's done, you can do too.
Absolutely. You guys, I'm just a normal, busy mom. You guys can all do it too. Yep.
Well, great job. Thank you so much, Tabitha. And I look
You're
forward to
welcome.
continuing the journey with you.
Yes, thank you for having me. I hope you guys have a great day. Now I get to go see if my kids kept doing their school.
Sorry if we took you too long.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds
Great
good.
job.
Thanks.
Great job.
Bye.